How's it going, party people? We're back. We're back with another Hobby Hang stream, which is conveniently situated to, I guess, end with the Nova Open preview. I mean, I'll be streaming throughout. We can watch it together, in a sense. And on the hobby desk, we're just continuing to refine the warp spiders a little bit. They're all tabletop minimum, which is pretty cool. Looking valid, decently valid on the tabletop, which is nice. How's it going, Pyro? The stream is on. Finished dinner, time to build Marines. Nice. I figured I'd start a little bit later, since I think the preview shows are usually around an hour. So, might as well start a bit later. And I think I've set up OBS correctly to show the stream as an overlay. So, we'll see. Might have to do some real-time graphic design, but not a big deal. Okay, so I guess to start, we gotta make this guy's Death Spinner fuchsia or magenta. Yeah, Pyro, you're saying normally an hour to an hour and 30 minutes? Oh, well, we'll see. I actually don't know how much 40K we're getting. It might be more of a AOS thing. The bare minimum, we should get a roadmap, which I'm intrigued by. I really hope that rumored roadmap is real. I want Eldar to be far away. Can one simply just paint over? Probably not. Not with paint that thin. That's for sure. It's AOS Blood Bowl reveals the rest is roadmap. They confirmed this. Okay, well, there we have it. Well, at the very least, we'll look at some neat models. How am I going to get in here? I guess gotta thread the needle. Can't wait to see Blood Bowl. Hope it's great for Mordheim. Oh yeah, it's a very real possibility. Do you know what teams are being previewed, or is it a box set kind of reveal, a new rule set, starter set type of situation going on? Could be interesting. You know, Mordheim and Blood Bowl are equally wholesome. It seems like a natural pairing. We could put some dirt, some earth texture on some of these bases, actually. This one could also use it. I'm just gonna step aside and grab my glue, like, not even a minute. Right, I'm back. I was just talking to myself because I was on mute. Yeah, I figured I would just do some gluing and earth texturing while I wait for the many coats to dry on this guy's gun. So it'll take quite a few coats to cover up that orange. So first we'll put a little bit of glue on the knife, just so I can slip some glue underneath this Exarch's foot. And that should do. Let's give this another pass. This is what I call a sloppy second of a paint job. That's not quite in the lines at all. Not even close. I think minor overspill works well. It can enhance a brush-on quick and dirty OSL effect. Kind of like my Forge Fiend that I put on Instagram and that I did on stream. But only within reason, right? That should be enough for the hard to see side. I don't think you'll need much more. And beyond that, we'll just add some white to this gray, but man, as usual, the white pigments have all dried up. Right, I actually want to put some metal color on this canister as well. Volgan War, how's it going? I just saw your message. I finished painting a Chaos Space Marine Sorcerer for my kill team today. And he came out super well. Hope the reveal stream has some good stuff. Yeah, I would hope so as well. At the very least, there should be more variety than the last preview show, which was kind of, I don't know, underwhelming. Maybe my expectations are just too high. The Kill Team, I watched the Kill Team review live, and I was like, oh, they were just talking about this box the whole time. Okay, well, I guess that's what they said that's the star of the show, right? I think at the very least we'll get some sweet models to ogle. Could yield for some interesting conversion opportunities, maybe? I have a bottle cap for some metal colors somewhere. Oh, I can use this one. Yeah, just have a whole bunch. Problem solved. A sorcerer for your kill team. Can a sorcerer go in kill team? Isn't that like an HQ? I'm so out of the loop with kill team 3.0, but I'm looking to get acquainted with it, that's for sure. Or does a sorcerer just count as like a generic psyker in a kill team? Not a Xenos guy, so the Vespid didn't do anything for me, but the Aquilons were good though. Yeah, I thought, look, more Scions. It's nice to see more Scions, is what it is, right? And they're better proportioned than the older ones, which I think is appreciated, right? However, the desire to realize a force of alien goobers between just Kroot and Vespid models it sparks much joy. I think that would be a sweet army. Probably wouldn't be good at all. Maybe not. Maybe it'd be okay. You know. Maybe it wouldn't be a competitive list in that sense. Oh, that's way too dark. Still upset on the kill team news. Sorry, Pyro, I think you might have mentioned this on the last stream, but I probably missed it. What was upsetting about the kill team news? Gnome away from home. Hello there. I missed your message, but I saw it. Better late than never. Gnome away from home. That's a great username. It's called a Balefire Acolyte and Kill Team. Right, okay. That's what I was... I forgot the specific name, but... Yeah, that original Legionary Kill Team kit had that little Psyker guy with the fiery hand. Which is just awesome. That's such a good kit. Funny enough, they're doing the same with Combat Patrol. The new edition in general, when this current one still has stuff to give. Oh, I see what you're saying, Pyro. It's a forced reset. A starting up of the hamster wheel. Does Kill Team, as a game system, as a Rules paradigm. Is it like 40k? You're not. I mean, it's not like 40k in that you're waiting for your codex to come out to play on an even footing. As an outsider looking at a kill team, it seems like you just get surprised by released box sets that introduce new kits with which to play the game, and then they're probably stronger than the existing ones, if I had to guess. Alright, let's get some white in the mix. Oh god, this is almost sealed shut. I'm going to have to pick up some off-white soon. I'm away from home says, thank you. I'm currently working on some orcs while we wait. Ooh woo. Threw in the ooh woo for good measure. Currently working on some orcs. What variety of orc? Fantasy orc or a 40k orc? And even then, there are so many subcultures of orcs. Fast ones, the primal savage ones. I'm really into those beast snaggers. I think they're so neat. Volganmore says, yes, that's him. Right, referring to the Balefire Acolyte, the one with the silly grin. Yep, that's the one. Kid Bash told a unique one for my team. Nice. Yeah, I mentioned it last stream, but I was thinking about it earlier today, and I think I am going to go ahead and kit bash my own Void Scarred kill team. Basically because I think it would make a really cool bodyguard unit for Yvrain and the Ynnari, but I think it'd be fun to kit bash them out of various Eldar faction models like Guardians, Racks, Witches, that sort of thing. Tramari, how's it going? And you say you're stuck at work, send Demonic Incursion. Well, I might have to call my local Inquisitor and report you. We will not be sending any demonic incursions to you. It may be tempting, but chaos is generally bad. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. No, I'm away from home working on some Beast Snagga boys. Nice. Those are the ones. They got that Monster Hunter energy. I'm a fan. Jealous of their pelts. On a few of my Firekeeper's models, I've like painstakingly green stuffed scale cloaks, and it's like, oh god. I see those beast snaggers and I'm like, oh, it's such a joy just to have scale cloaks built into your model. You'll post them in the Manufactorum? Awesome. Yeah, I'll take a look. I'll take a look at that. Misfit says, hello. Hello there, Misfit. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. How much time? Oh, we have quite a bit of time left. Look at this. I'm more concerned just to make sure my OBS doesn't screw up than miss anything crazy. This isn't like a 40k centric preview show. But we'll see some cool models, no doubt. And more often than not, I kind of get excited more so by seeing new AOS models than 40k models. It could just be the grass being greener from being on the side we're on. But I don't know, those fantasy models, they spark a fair bit of joy, I'd say. Okay, let's put some contrast down, and then we'll get to the earth texture. We got Doomfire, and I have Contrast Medium. Which I bought on accident because I thought it was Lamine Medium. Love it. I was in my local game store, and I was like, oh, I should pick something up, support the local club where, you know, our community kind of relies on it, right? You should support your local store. So I picked up a paint pot. I'm like, oh, I'll get some Lamine Medium. I can always use that. And surprise, it's not Lamine Medium at all. A bit behind on chat, but you gotta give me a few minutes here to mix the potions, okay? You gotta mix the potions so they come out just right. I actually tried diluting it a bit more than last time. We'll see how it looks. Well, it's certainly less vibrant. I can always layer up more, though, so it's not a big deal. Oh, shit. Shit. I did not put any base color down on those tubes. Well, maybe we'll use this opportunity to catch up with chat. Pyro says, not even a White Dwarf team. Like current Combat Patrol, they did one. Tyranid one, and they seem to have given up on it. I guess that's in reference to the kill team not taking advantage of the current landscape and just resetting. Misfit says, I've made more progress on my GSC today. Very nice. Working on hybrids of some sort, I presume. Noam Away from Home says, I feel you. Doing the same thing with my salamanders. Hey, nice. Misfit, roadmap predictions. Oh, roadmap predictions, I couldn't. Having Blood Angels not be at Christmas times, not being during the holiday season, the Christmas season, totally throws off my predictive ability with regards to Codex releases. So, I'm just hoping Eldar is very far away. That's all. I don't think the grass is greener at all. I always feels like they can go wild and sculpt some really awesome stuff. Current 40k is so generic in comparison. Okay, good. I'm not crazy. I'm not just in my head about it. I started cheating by using cake texture mold. I have to like track the conversation. Oh, using a cake texture mold for your scale cloaks. That's an interesting concept, actually. Pyrus says the AOS designers are better than the mainline 40k designers. Am I wrong in this thinking? The Admex sniper still ticks me off. What were they thinking with that guy? Oh, man. That should probably be like a channel emoji. I don't know if there's enough resolution to get a silhouette. That's so funny. What a funny model. I forgot about him. Misfit says you finished your Acolyte hybrids the other day, as well as my newer Icon Ward kit bash. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, as a fan of banners, I can appreciate an Icon Ward. Space Wolves, maybe. That or the guard with the Krieg rumor. Oh, a Krieg rumor. Like a... Like a range of Krieg? Like more of the units that used to be from Forge World, I guess? Interesting. Interesting choice. I guess if you have to expand the guard, what else would you do? Honestly, I would just adore having kits, whether they be kill teams or just upgrade sprues, for making the classic regiments, you know? The Steel Legion, well, I guess they're kind of Krieg adjacent, so that's a bad example. But like, you know, Catachan, Jungle Fighters, your... there's two guys who like to fight in the cold, right? Vostroyans, that's one of them. I don't know. I just have my old 3rd edition rulebook, and you know, sometimes while having some coffee, I'll fondly flip through those old production photos, or I guess not production. It's just like the professional photography of the scenic battles that you get in those codexes, and man, it's so charming to see those Catachan Jungle Fighters just in the shit, you know? Surrounded by bugs. And Mordian. Mordians are badass. Like, the whole concept in 8th edition of the Mordian parade drill rule, that you get a bonus from lining up your guys in a straight line, is a great idea in concept, okay? Super cool. Super cool idea, right? But, in practice, it asks a lot of you. And the perk it gave you was kind of bad, also, in my opinion. But there's something there. There's definitely something there for, like, interesting, unique gameplay that's just like parade drill fire. Let's go. Super cool. Some kind of Krieger minesweepers are in the rumor engine, if you recall correctly. Okay, Sneedfest. Oh yeah, welcome Sneedfest. Just saw your message. Welcome to the Strum. Pyro says, now at what the 40k, how would you do a banner for AdMech? Also, yes, the Krieg rumor was mostly Forge World stuff going plastic. Then, depending on how good they sell, they do Catachan. I hate that. I hate that Catachan is held hostage. But that's the nature of the beast, I suppose. Whatever. STLs will say this. How would I do an AdMech banner? That's an interesting one. Okay. Obviously, the sniper on stilts has to hold the banner, because he's the tallest. The banner's got to be the highest thing, right? The tallest model in the army. Everyone's got to see it. So now, you use him, make him a standard bearer. And now he doesn't have to worry about his recoil and falling backwards. He's just holding his banner. It's an odd choice, for sure. I'm half kidding with that suggestion. If you want to make a serious banner, I don't know if... How do AdMech typically... They don't really have icons or standards, do they? Misfit says you've kit bashed some Praetorians. Remind me, what are Praetorians? Is that a Custodes unit? I can't remember for the life of me. Or is it a Necron unit? No. I feel like Praetorian Guard are Necrons, right? I can't remember. You want that old school back banner? Old school banner or back banner vibe. Yep. I'm a fan. I support that choice. Old school back banners are a mark of culture, for sure. You know, when someone has a banner in their army that's painted, well, right now you don't see them also because they're not the most competitive, but definitely a mark of culture. A sophisticated individual, to be certain. Oh, you have your banner? You're making sure your troops are inspired? Okay, I see. I see what kind of game you're playing. And I dig it. Yeah, I've tried to put back banners on my Exarchs as well. Now, the Swooping Hawks and Warp Spiders don't really lend themselves to it, unfortunately. But designs exist for them. I just wouldn't know where to attach it. Where do you attach said back banner? And a back banner on a flying unit just feels not the most appropriate. It feels a bit awkward if you know, you imagine you're jumping through the air or warping through the warp. And then you got this banner just kind of throwing you off balance or causing drag. I don't know. I don't think it's good. But on a Dire Avenger, oh, chef's kiss. Welcome, Francois. Good to see you. About 25 minutes remaining. Okay, so while that white layer goes on, we'll apply a little bit of earth texture. A little bit of good old reliable Vallejo earth texture. Misfit says, my first icon ward, I kit bashed with a sister's imagifier. Imagifier. That's a weird. I read that unit all the time, but never really say it out loud. One of those words, you know. Yeah, that's a great model to use for an icon bearer. And if I recall correctly, that model is, very, what's the word, pious looking. It looks very, like, you definitely get the vibe of veneration, which I think fits the Genestealer cults. That's definitely the energy you want. Let's see here. Oh, Manufactorum. Let's take a looky-loo. What is this? Kit bashed Balefire Acolyte. I finished today. Oh, very nice. Oh, that looks great. Nice color for a Legionary. You don't see blue Chaos Space Marines often. It looks really looks good. Nice and vibrant. And you have the Master of Possession backpack on there. Perfect. Oh, and the little medallion from the Terminator. The Librarian on Terminator looks like. Or the Librarian in Terminator armor. Nicely done. Oh, he's standing on a corpse. Of whomst? It's red. Is it a Blood Angel's corpse? Swooping Hawks would be a cannon barrel banner in your opinion? Francois, that is an excellent idea. Excellent. I may need to try and take a stab at that, but I don't have a, like a flag type banner. I don't have a bit for that. I wonder what I can source out. Yeah, that's a great idea. And then, fair enough, the warp spiders don't have one because they're going in and out of the warp. That's fine. Oh, but I can just imagine Swooping Hawks with a barrel banner would just look so classy, right? So distinguished. Your Discord is patrons only, I guess? No, Misfit, my Discord is free. I don't know, I just felt kind of weird to have a Discord server for patrons only. But maybe that's why I have so few patrons. Maybe that's why. I have there's a separate chat in the Discord for patrons, but other than that, the Discord is free for whomstever. Just go in there, share your stuff, talk about lore. Just do Discord things. Look at this gap I have to fill here. It's going to fill it with mud. Aluminum cans make for the best banners in your opinion, eh? Okay, well, that should be a flexible and easy to cut material, certainly, right? So I'll look into that. Probably easily wrap it around a bit of brass rod or something, then glue that on. Yeah, I'm sure I can source something out with that. Thanks, Francois. That's a great tip. Seems highly likely my Swooping Hawk Exarch will get the honor of bearing a Swooping Hawk style banner. That's awesome. $21. Oh, you dropped a couple in the Manufactorum, Misfit. Okay, I'll take a look-see. Hey, very nice. Ah, I see your Instagram link works. Oh, there's the Imagifier. Yep. I dig it. Very cool. If I open this link, will it screw up my OBS? I'll take a closer look once I am on mobile, once I am on my phone. But on my computer, I don't want to muck up my OBS. But these preview shots look awesome. Yeah, Kitbashed statue. It's like a saint that's being, well, in their eyes, not getting corrupted. It's like more holy, right? That's very cool. Are these third-party warp spiders? Yes, these are Artel W warp spiders, and I just adore the look. Some don't have the best pose. This one's great. Love this pose. I like the Exarch. Pretty good. This guy, not so much. He's like taking a knee and posing for the camera. I still like it. It's just not the best one. And we got another running guy over here. Right there it is in focus. Yeah, they are much larger than the current metal warp spiders. But they don't scale terribly with the new GW stuff. I have a Reaper here. Right, so you can see it's a bit bigger. But not terribly. Not terribly. I mean, maybe the Dark Reaper has his legs kind of a bit wider. Maybe it's robbing him of some height. But they scale reasonably well with the new Eldar stuff. But you take a look at old Karandras and he's so swell. I should have him just on my hobby desk always for just to brighten my life. That little guy with his big head. It's very funny to me. Okay, I may have one more to add mud. Mark Walker. Hello, welcome to the stream, Mark. Thanks for tuning in. Misfit says RTLW does good sculpts. I agree. And not just because they send me stuff every now and again. I've made purchases from them as well. It's I like their products. Francois says posable, durable, cheap, easily sourced. Cut the can and oh yeah, so cut the can much bigger than the banner to avoid crinkled edges on your banner. Kitchen shears from Dollar Store are king. Open can with a knife. Perfect. Yeah, I'm sure with that I can work out something pretty good, honestly. If you were to do Eldari Misfit, you would do kit bashed Exodites. Yep, that would look awesome. Yeah, there's enough STLs, kit bashable models using various monsters from fantasy that you could you have more than enough to work with. It would look rad for sure. Volganmore says the corpse on the Balefire Acolyte's base isn't a Blood Angel, it's a Firehawk. The Legion of the Damned were what got me into 40k, so I thought it was a fun callback to their origins. Nice. Goblin says working on a Cheesium mecha model today. Oh, Chinesium. Interesting. Mark Walker says thanks. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Volganmore says, I got a few Artel sculpts. They're wonderfully detailed, but I found their Marines a bit small proportion to GW stuff. Interesting. I don't have any of their Marines. I would have assumed their Marines would be bigger. Like, I don't have any on my desk with me, but there's a few corpses on the Aspect Warriors I have from Artel. The Warp Spider Phoenix Lord had one. The Exploded Marine, right? And I thought it was, like, probably looking to be bigger than GW scale for Marines. At least Primaris scale. What? Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe the corpses are not the best gauge of the relative proportion of the Marine squads they sell. Mark Walker says, I haven't really played in about 11 years. Ever since my firstborn came along, I never seem to find the energy to get back into the hobby. What gets you super motivated to tackle the gray? That is an excellent question, Mark. the I guess the two biggest contributors to staying motivated to tackle the gray for me would be camaraderie with fellow hobbyists. That kind of gets the fires going for sure. Whether it's like, I have my local play group, and sometimes those guys join me on stream, and, when we all have hobby calls and get engaged in like coming out every week kind of thing, that helps. But if you don't have that luxury, um, these streams in a way for me kind of help. They serve that same kind of purpose. We do share a bit of hobby camaraderie on these hobby calls, hobby hangs, but I think the biggest factor would be the creative opportunity that this hobby allows with regards to realizing your dudes. I like making, like, people ask me, like, my favorite aspect of the hobby, ultimately, or my favorite army. Yeah, my salamander firekeepers are my avatar, but I just like making cool shit. Like, this hobby affords so much creativity, which is slowly getting disincentivized by how the rules are being handled, but that's a different topic altogether. But you can still realize your creativity regardless of that. I like creating a custom character for your army to lead your dudes. That whole lane, I think, for me personally, keeps me motivated. That was a bit of a mouthful, as I tend to. Oh, I got 10 minutes remaining by my count. Maybe I should refresh. I don't know. My time is true. Look at that. Oh, Warhammer seems to be live. You receive Twitch notifications. Perfect. Well, let me see if I can do this without screwing up my OBS. Okay, so gonna open up this browser. Oh, they're live now. Right. Okay, so, and now I press this button, and oh, we got it. We are in. Look at that. Okay, so I get rid of this timer. Oh, I can keep the timer on. Not the worst. All right, cool. Cool. Look, I did it. I figured it out. Thanks for the notification. Wait, who said that? Pyro, thank you. Yes, Pyro. Thank you for the heads up. Volgan War says... Volgan War has got 2 of the Night Lords on Loyalist Chaplain, and they're both smaller. Maybe not height-wise, but definitely proportions. Valdez. Hey, what the 40k? Huge fan. Oh, thanks. Your list creation videos inch me ever closer to jumping into 40k. Do you ever think you'll check out Adeptus Titanicus? Probably not. It's hard to, genuinely, right? It's hard to get into newer game systems when your playgroup doesn't facilitate playing the games. Unfortunately, we had a guy way back when Titanicus was new, and he kind of experienced that. And then I kind of experienced it a little bit with what's that game? Marvel Crisis Protocol. Yeah, it's just a little hard if your playgroup doesn't have games. I like a lot of things about Titanicus. I wish they had other factions, but that's the model GW uses, unfortunately. Start with Imperium, see if people buy in, and then do other factions. But it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, people won't buy in if they don't see the factions they like, right? The Pyro Warhammer seems to be live. Yep. My Dreadwing Cataphractic Terminator Command Squad banner is 2 by 5 inches. That seems pretty big. Worthy of command, certainly. I love battle standards and big banners on knights and such. Oh, hell yeah. Volganor, like the torso on the Artel Marines, are less wide than the GW sculpts. Skinnier arms and legs, etc. Interesting. Yeah, maybe at some point I'll check out a side-by-side comparison. Francois, bad rules and lack of customization, cough, cough. Yeah. Pyra says, once I get a Hive Tyrant, Hive Dragon shall be born. Oh, the Hive Dragon has a good ring to it. Almost as good as the Hive Knight. Almost. Let's try and get some mud on these, this Exarch's base. Damn, this Animal Crossing music is pretty chill. Oh yeah, you guys can't see the music I'm listening to because I changed it on OBS. I changed the layout to the countdown. But yeah, I'm listening to an assorted, I think, GameCube playlist of cool jams. And this Animal Crossing one is bumping. It's the nighttime tracks in Animal Crossing that are super chill. Cool. The mud is done. It should dry pretty quick because we have, well, it's pretty thin on there, to be honest. And then once it's dry, can give the whole stone and mud elements a quick wash of Homebrew. Homebrew Agrax Earthshade. Been listening to the Metal Gear Rising boss music again. Oh, hell yeah. Metal Gear Rising is that's a good time. That's a game where the development seemed so mungled, but it turned out like just a great Platinum game. Just a solid action game. Though I kind of wish we got the Metal Gear Rising, the original version of the game. I wish I could explore that timeline and see the story where Raiden has to save Sonny from the Patriots. That would be cool. All the while, like, Snake is becoming older and older. We're getting into some deep lore, some deep Metal Gear lore. You guys probably aren't fond of it at all. Okay, so I just want to make sure my my OBS here is capturing everything. Okay, perfect. Turn off my tunes here. Oh. Oh, I see, I see. Chaos Dwarves are, I mean, personally, I'm not overly attached to them, but I know they got their fans. Are you able to hear the stream a bit well? Or sorry, you able to hear the stream? I can bump up my audio a little bit. That should make a difference for you guys. We'll see if YouTube gets mad at me. Oh, Corey Gibson subscribed. Very cool. Nice to see those Streamlabs notifications working.
But Sigmar's mighty warriors will soon return to save the mortal realms, reforged to fight another day.
Oh, cool. Love terrain. Oh, that's big. Holy. That's a huge monster. It's a big old griffin.
Welcome back. Joined now by Matt and Phil from the Warhammer Age of Sigmar team to talk about the aftermath of the Hellground experience. Welcome, Matt. Welcome, Phil.
Thanks. Great to be here.
I want to see more Skaven, though.
So, with the slaughter at Hellground concluded, and the Skaven running roughshod across the city, we've got a chance to look at all the new Stormcast Eternal releases that are coming. I wonder if we can just start from the top and talk about the new Stormcast Paladins.
These are epic cavalry. They're really fast. They hit hard. They have a certain way of essentially getting retribution for their fallen. So these are counter.
Francois. I just saw your message. Oh, you kill me. Pyro, why do you want to listen to corporate shills feed you advertising? It's an infomercial. It's so funny. Look, Francois, you just want to enjoy the preview, right? And they will give you some information you couldn't take away just from the trailer, right?
They're a really great late game attack.
Ah, it's so funny.
That sounds amazing. And we also saw some fantastic character models. My favourite, I've always loved.
Goblin, yeah, it's all fucking characters, yeah. Characters. More Sigmarines, nice banner, chaplain conversion. Heavy cavalry, though.
Spiritual guardians of the Stormcast.
Yeah, that's a cool looking chaplain.
Found them, and they really mean in a fight as well.
It's funny how they had to give
Really great for
the Age of Sigmar, the Age of Sigmar, Stormcast Eternals their own chaplains. That's so it feels a bit
one of the strongest core
creatively.
priest characters.
I don't want to say creatively bankrupt because it's such a dramatic accusation, right?
On a similar vein,
I just feel like it's a bit low hanging, a little uninspired, you know?
role in Stormcast Eternals.
Oh, you were right to say it's morbid imagery. These guys are really the final point of the lot of Stormcast journey. Happens very rarely, but these.
The pyro may have something in the background because I hear static on top of painting noises. Yep, I can appreciate that.
Fighting, being reborn over and over.
Unlike when I record audio for
Good at taking after enemies.
videos, where I listen to the microphone, I'm not listening to my outgoing audio
And you know,
during these streams, so I can only imagine the horrors of what you guys are listening to.
now expanding with a few more options to bring into play.
You segue beautifully into great new Reclusian models.
Because of this new kit, you can now have a great variety. You could actually field just Ruination Chamber.
Well, especially with some of the models we're talking about and will continue to talk about. You know, the Ruination Chamber is really being fleshed out as you know, a really fully fledged chamber with interesting synergies within it, interesting abilities, and you know, the Reclusians form one of the core elite units.
They're your rank and file of
Yeah.
the Ruination Chamber, but each one of them is
Pretty
like
elite level.
a really high elite warrior. And they come with the Memorians, those are almost like their squires.
The only problem I find with the Stormcast models for kit bashing is some of them are so
Great scale.
freaking huge, man.
You know, one of the common threads that apply to all of the Ruination Chamber units is
You know, like I look at some of the Stormcast models and I'm like, oh, that could be a great Inquisitor. And then you realize this is like the size of a custodian, right?
worst, most devastating, most deadly places. Whether it's enemy spells, or prayers, or abilities, or debuffs, or you know, different things. They kind of have this ability, unlike any other units in the game, to kind of shrug that off and keep going.
It's a really nice point of the lore and the rules on the tabletop sort of coinciding to
Yeah.
give you the right feel. Sounds awesome. Talking perhaps at the other end of the Stormcast spectrum, we've got a new Lord Celestin, fantastic miniature, great options.
Core infantry commander really works well.
Yo, so guys, is this a Lord Celestant,
There's a lot of builds.
the equivalent of a captain? Is that what that is? Or is this a lieutenant that we're seeing here?
Archetype to go in and lead your forces.
Whenever I play with my Stormcast Eternal Army, I can see myself as Lord Celestin in the ranks. So
Absolutely, yeah.
It's an important part
the
of me
general is you
personally.
on the battlefield,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's beautiful.
Kit as well.
Well,
It's
that's right.
lots of fun options, and you can kind of just customize it to really make your own Lord Celestin.
That's fantastic. Speaking of sort of characters and things that have existed around since their first iteration, I remember learning way back in time about Torglug, and he's been on a journey, and we now have Taunus the Redeemed, just an incredible looking miniature. What can you say about Taunus?
So Taunus is a really interesting character because, as you say, comes from early Realmgate ones, really. He's one of the first characters we got to know. His backstory, as you intimated, Torglug, once upon a time, was as a farmer, he was defending his village against Nurgle, and he fought so hard and he held out for so long that eventually Nurgle got him. But he was redeemed by Galmaraz, so there was still a bit of goodness in him, and we forged that into Taurus Redeemed. We've seen his character evolve even more. He is now a leader.
That's a
of the
pretty sweet
nation.
miniature.
He's put aside his personal vendettas for the good of his brothers, and he's become a Knight of Xeros. He takes the light of Sigmar to guide the lost. So he's had a really interesting story arc, that guy.
I'm all about a good redemption arc. Just a fantastic journey. The kit doesn't just make Taurus Redeemed, though. It also makes a standard Knight of Xeros. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. The standard Knight of Xeros has a little bit more synergy directly with the prosecutors, kind of flying in, supporting them that way. So both really fun options. I love I love Tornus's whole arc, and just seeing that realized on the tabletop is really fun.
So obviously Taurus and the Knight of Xeros, they can get around nice and quick, but my experience of my Stormcaster 10 army is a little bit slower on their feet. That's where the Stormreach portal comes in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a complete building. It's in that Azerite.
Love the terrain.
A massive.
It's incredibly cost prohibitive,
This
but
has been built by the Stormcaster and their aides.
I like the
warriors
look.
To essentially act as a kind of a battery of storm power that enables them to get essentially.
But I guess this is like a faction-specific terrain piece, so maybe that
Opens up
criticism isn't exactly
is having that option to hold some of the
fair.
troops back, defend that home territory, and then go through that portal in order to deep strike.
It's awesome.
Deep into the battlefield later on in the game.
The game has a lot of movement aspects to it. Claiming objectives is huge. So yeah, I think you're going to enjoy it.
Oh, it's awesome. So the showstopper for this set of Stormcaster 10 releases has to be Iridan the Witness. Can you fill us in on what they're about?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this is the first Stormcaster to ever take another Stormcast life, which is obviously a huge deal. They couldn't stand to see their brother-in-arms suffer anymore, and that poor unfortunate was pleading for an end, and Iridan gave it to them with essentially a magic axe, and that has given them the gift of oblivion. Now, Sigmar wanted an answer as to why that happened, and Iridan ended up talking to Sigmar himself about this, and pleaded their case so eloquently and so well that actually it is now a formally recognised thing that can happen in the Warnation Chambers, and the Lord Terminos has come to be as a result of Iridan.
Francois. Whoa, what the fuck is that wing dude? Suck it, Blood Angels. Yeah, that's a bit rude.
Rarely, but in a way they are more.
Definitely a bit rude to the Blood Angels fans.
Naturally, they bring vengeance to chaos on their great Morgreth as well, striking like a bolt from the blue. So we've got a really great active character joining the Storm host at this point.
It's bleak and awesome. Now, the kit has a separate component, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can also build this kit as a Lord Vigilant on Morgreth as well. And that gives you two really different kind of roles on the battlefield. The Lord Vigilant, as with the Lord Vigilant in the Skavenkind starter set.
Yeah, look at those centerpiece Age of Sigmar models, man. They look so good.
Chamber, also a formidable fighter and a lot of speed with a Morgreth going around the battlefield. Whereas, Iridan the Witness is a priest, first of all, as we talked about, always a kind of useful archetype, really a lot of powerful prayer abilities that they can use, and has more of a support role for the army as a whole, while being certainly no slouch in combat.
Awesome. That sounds just incredible. Well, look, it's been amazing having you guys come and sort of fill me in and everybody here in on all of these outstanding new Stormcaster 10 releases. Thank you for coming. Coming up next, we'll be joined by Ben from the Warhammer Age of Sigmar team to talk about the future roadmap. So Ben, it's obviously been a really big year for Age of Sigmar. What are the highlights been for you throughout the year?
What are the highlights for you? Yeah, he's the way he talks, man, kills me.
Such a great format of the game, and it's been so well received by everybody.
Everybody's playing it right now in all of my gaming groups.
Yeah. I've just come back from a weekend at a friend's where we played 10 games over a Saturday and a Sunday, and it's just great fun.
What's your spearhead of choice?
I don't have a single one. I have a few that I play, so I've just booked into an event actually where you can bring 5 different ones and play 5 games throughout the event, and then aggregate the skills.
That's awesome. I can't stop looking at the dreams like Gits.
They're a lot of fun because they've got a bit of everything. Some infantry, some heavy guys with the rock guns, and then they've got the speed with the buoyants as well.
Never painted like Gits on mass islands. I feel like it's luring. Anyway, I know you've been hard at work, you and your team, working on lots of stuff Battletoads. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Battletoads was a really big project within the studio, and we've tried to look at them from front to back to make them visually different, a lot more content in there from a background and rules point of view, from photography as well. Worked really hard to make them really exciting, and hopefully they make you feel like it's the first book you've ever bought, that feeling that you get back again.
Sounds awesome. So not just visual, but there's going to be new lore and new rules and things as well.
Yeah, so there's new lore, obviously the Age of Sigmar storyline progresses on. We tell you new things that have happened since the Skaven Tide and the Vermin Doom, and how that has impacted particularly Skaven, obviously Stormcast Eternals, but also lots of little new nuggets based on other new miniatures as well.
Sounds incredible, thank you. So we've talked a little bit about Skaven and about the Stormcast Eternals. What does the rest of 2024?
Oh, so it's packed. So we've got a new Chaos Battletome on the way, and a new narrative book as well, which is very much like the General's Handbook but for narrative play. So a must buy, I think, for people.
So you're looking to sort of have those really thematic games that link together. That's right, yeah, for you. Outstanding. So that's 2024. Obviously, 2025 is roughly.
That's fairly interesting.
What can you tell us about a glimpse of the future?
A campaign, not a campaign book, but a narrative rule book, separate from the main game.
Nice.
Death. So those fans of those Grand Alliances have got a lot to look forward to.
Awesome. That sounds great. Well, thank you so much for hanging around and sort of filling us in on like a roadmap for the future. That's awesome. The rest of you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Warhammer 40,000 Beck.
Did they show the roadmap? Or did I miss it?
We're joined now by Stu from the Warhammer 40,000 studio team.
Oh, fuck it, Stu. Here we go.
40,000 roadmap for the future, and talk a little bit about what's happened so far this year. Welcome, Stu. Thank you for joining us.
It's always a pleasure.
Looking back at the year so far, it's been an amazing year for Warhammer 40,000. What are the highlights?
I kid, I don't hate Stu.
Wasn't there? So I think about 8 codexes this year, I think.
Been a busy time.
Yeah, it certainly has. The Dark Angels.
The best of all of the codexes.
Yep, I thought you might say that. A little bit biased. Chaos Space Marines, we've had the Gene Stealer Cults, Sisters of Battle, Dempsey's Custodes, Orcs, actually the best faction 40k.
At least they're green.
They are green, so loads of really, really fun stuff. And we've got plenty more to come. We've also had a couple of things for narrative play. We've had the Pariah Nexus Crusade book, which has been really fun as well. Obviously, we go back and see what the Silent King's been up to in that part of the 40k universe.
Fantastic, building out that war zone and giving people something to sort of sink their teeth into from
Yeah.
a campaign and narrative perspective is great.
Yeah, we also then picked that up with the latest match play mission deck as well, also set in the Pariah Nexus. It's been really good fun kind of exploring different bits of the kind of 40k universe through the different lenses.
Fantastic. So that's sort of the year that's been. What about the end of 2024? What can we expect to see?
Yeah, so I think Blood Angels, so the second best Angels maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they get their time in the sun between now and Christmas. Lots of really exciting new releases for them. And then it really kicks off in the new year with all kinds of exciting things.
So before we dive into the new year, one of the things I've always loved about Blood Angels is they just look incredible, right? I think from a visual perspective, maybe.
Oh yeah, those sanguinary guard. They look incredible. Lamartius, incredible.
Alongside this,
This is so funny.
Something about the Blood Angels for you in this release.
Yeah, so I think one of the really, really cool things you touched on it there a little bit. They're really visually striking, aren't they? With like the red, the black and gold, the three kind of different ways, I guess, of showing the Blood Angels.
Yeah.
So we've got a bunch of stuff that's kind of Death Company themed. We've got the sanguinary stuff as well in the gold armor. So just really visually striking. The return of some really favourite characters. The miniatures team have done a fantastic job bringing those kind of really beloved characters to life in a new way. So that's going to be very exciting.
Awesome. So that sees us through to the end of the year. A little bit of a tease about what comes further down the road.
So we start off the new year with Astra Militarum.
Wow, okay.
With the Death Corps. So most people have seen the infantry unit that was released via Kill Team.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get to round that out with a full Death Corps release, which will be super exciting.
That's going to be amazing.
Really.
What about this year, though?
I think, they're like a fan favourite regiment.
Yeah.
I think most people have like a favourite Astra Militarum regiment. We know that the Death Corps are really popular, so that will be very exciting. We're going to follow that up with some Eldari launches.
Wow.
Really rounding out some of the Aspect Warriors with some new sculpts for those, which will be really cool. And then some really exciting stuff on the horizon after that for the Forces of Chaos.
Sounds incredible. What a brilliant way to sort of finish off 2024 and then kick off 2025 with an enormous bang.
For sure. I mean, Astra Militarum and Eldari, two of the probably most popular factions in 40k. So yeah, really good start to next year.
Long-awaited things that people can be really excited about. But
Oh, yes.
that's really great to have you come and join us and tell us a little bit about the future and sort of flesh out that roadmap for us, Stu. Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
As for the rest of you, stay right there. We're going to come back with news from the Age of Darkness and the Horus Heresy.
I love how they like didn't give us a roadmap, but they thanked him for the roadmap.
Andy Hall, Lord of the Horus Heresy from the Warhammer Studios.
What's up with that?
Deals with the Age of
Am I crazy?
Legion Imperialis. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Adam. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, really nice to have you here. It has been an amazing couple of years for the Horus Heresy setting. We saw the Age of Darkness launch. It was about 2 years ago now, right?
Summer 22.
Wow, what a time has flown by. And what's that been like for you and your team?
It's been a crazy ride, obviously. So we came out of the gate with a big box set with loads of cool stuff in it. We did new Mark 6 Space Marines.
Painted a lot of
I
those.
painted many of them myself too. We did upgrade sets to turn them into heavy support squads, special weapon squads, all of that sort of thing. Veteran squads, you can make loads of stuff out of all of those upgrades. We came out with loads of tanks because we already had the designs in resin, so the same designers got to make them again in plastic, which is why we had so many of those. And then since then we brought out Mark 6 Assault Marines, and then the really exciting thing, we get to expand into more factions. So first of all, the first wave of Solar Auxilia, more of those coming down the line, and then Mechanicum, which is the next big new faction.
Yeah, and that's sort of happening right now, isn't it? We're seeing the burst of the Mechanicum in plastic.
That's absolutely right. So initially we're taking that dive into Space Marines, giving people a really good selection so they can start their journey in plastic. And then we decided to broaden that offering because the more factions you have in the game, the more people you can draw into it, the more variety.
You know, the more excuses you have to buy cool new stuff.
Exactly.
But the lure is quite strong, and from a narrative point of view, the Mechanicum offers something quite rich. You know, you've got the Martians and War playing out, right?
That's right. You've got a completely different type of army to Space Marines with the Mechanicum. We sometimes like to sort of compare them to fantasy tropes, if you like. The Mechanicum, you very much think of like a sort of undead army, essentially.
Yeah.
You've got these very sort of arcane, mysterious characters ruling it, and they're a little bit like necromancers, raising up the hordes of dry or wet undead.
Yeah, there's something really disturbing about the sort of that flesh and machine melding. You can see that sort of connection to them. Are they properly alive anymore?
Particularly because you've got different troop types within that army, so you can have hordes with textiles, for example, if you want to go for that shambling zombie horde style army, or you can have lots of
Full deathcore release.
dry undead sort of deal. But the Magi are always these
Yeah, it's
characters
interesting.
coordinating the whole thing. They're using their cyberthurgic spells essentially to sort of control them, focus them in battle. So it plays completely differently to
Yeah, it was disappointing, Misfit. Misfit.
different playstyles. You
It was disappointing for 40k.
big constructs.
And like talking about roadmap, he says Blood Angels came out and they look great. Let's talk about next year.
Something sort of exciting for collectors to sink their teeth
What are we to take away from that?
That's happening now.
Maybe the community
You
site
can see them, you know, in their local.
has updated the roadmap with a visual, like an actual roadmap, like they did at the start of the edition.
Horus Heresy setting, be that Age of Darkness or Legions Imperialis.
So specifically for Age of Darkness, first of all, we're carrying on our journey into the core Space Marine range. There'll be plenty more coming out of that. Hopefully quite soon there'll be a melee weapon set.
The long-awaited.
The long-awaited melee set, which we've mentioned in some roadmaps in the past. We're probably almost ready to show those.
Yeah, I don't.
Much ready. Yeah. There'll be more
I'm pretty
Space
hands
Marines.
off from Horus Heresy. I mean, I have my Age of Darkness set, but I haven't really done anything with it for
the
for
foreseeable
playing
future.
Horus Heresy. So
There's an awful lot there to do. There'll be subsequent
I can't really
waves
speak to the comings and goings, but I check out Outer Circle's videos every now and again
broadening each
to see what the word is from a,
Just getting started, really.
I guess, a like-minded individual,
after
but on
12
the
years
Horus Heresy side of
of
things.
doing the Age of Darkness setting previously with Forge
And a point he made
doing it with
at the start of the edition was a lack of melee units and way too much of a focus on vehicles.
so, yeah, when we get into
It really felt like the designers weren't
be the real
releasing
awakening.
releasing kits based on what the game needs and what the players desire, but
This is for Legions Imperialis.
Legions of
as
Imperialis
this guy
is
repeated,
range because it's all
what's
plastic,
convenient.
And most of it is drawing off of vehicles and unit types that we already know about for the Age of Darkness game. So it's definitely our ambition long term that anything that we make full scale Age of Darkness game, we would also make at epic scale for the Legions Imperialis game. That gives us an enormous amount of stuff to explore, so we're likely to be doing that for many years yet. There's a huge amount to do. We came out the gate with a core Space Marine and a Solar Auxiliary range, so obviously we want to carry on expanding that, but there's other factions to explore. There's Mechanicum, there's Custodes, there's Sisters of Silence, there's a whole load of stuff that we could do in the future as we come to it, but it's a big job of work initially to fill out the Space Marine range and the Solar Auxiliary range, so that's what we're doing for the next few years.
Awesome. That sounds great. Well, look, it's been lovely having you come and join us and sort of inform us on what's happened and is happening for the future of the Age of Darkness Legions Imperialis. Thank you, Andy. Up next, we're going to the World of Legend with the Warhammer Old World team. I'm joined now by Dan from the Warhammer Old World team. Dan's part of the group that write all of the rules and the lore for the Old World game. It's lovely to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, Evan.
My pleasure. It's been an amazing year for Warhammer the Old World. We've seen this renaissance of a system and a setting that I particularly love. How have you found it so far?
It's been wonderful to welcome everybody back to the World of Legend. It's one of our most sort of beloved IPs, and it's something that we as a team have really, really enjoyed delving back into.
Yeah, absolutely. So since sort of it returned, what have we seen so far? What have people been able to get involved with?
So we've seen the release of the core game, and alongside that we had our launch boxes for the Bretonnians and the Tomb Kings, which went out really well. They were very popular. People were really excited by the content. We followed that up with the Orc and Goblin Tribes, the Arcane Journal format, and again, the content in there people seem to be really, really resonating with, so we're happy with how that's been going. And then we just most recently had the Dwarven Mountain Holds return.
For me, I'm super excited by those. Some of the miniatures in the Warhammer Dwarves range are amongst my favourites. They were actually the first miniatures I ever bought from Games Workshop way back in the day. A tiny little lad with hair and no beard, wandering into a Games Workshop store to buy dwarves. So delightful to see. What have you been doing yourself? Come on, have you dipped your toe in? What's your army of choice?
Absolutely. I mean, when you work at Games Workshop and at Warhammer World especially, it's hard not to. So I've been building up an Orc and Goblin Tribes army. Yes. Lots of bits for Nomadic War in particular. I just love the idea of these Orcs and Goblins mounting up and racing off to go and raid and pillage Bretonnian farms and places in the Border Princes, and then racing off again with all their loot.
Those turnip farmers don't know what's coming.
They really don't.
I love it. That sounds
Didn't like that Eldari was right at the start of...
2024 already. What can we expect?
Not right at the start, he said after. Stu said what? Eldari Codex after the...
We're in an interesting time period.
The Krieg release, right? Which would be the start of the year.
But with the rise of a certain Everchosen...
So that could actually end up being like spring. So that's actually... That's not too bad.
That's very exciting. We're on the approach from a historical point of view to a very...
Nothing much to the new year, it seems.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it seems that way. If we're to take what he's saying.
Mark some of the most important points in this.
Certainly not
But we've got a lot of
the most interesting.
reach that climactic
Bit of a bummer of a preview. I feel like they dropped the ball twice on me. Twice. Second, 2 for 2. I'm disappointed by these previews.
We'll see that we've been sort of jumping all over the place and really enjoying the sandpit of this time period we have to look at.
That's really exciting. So Chaos Warriors within 2024. If we look a little bit further out, sort of beyond the horizon, as it were, what can you tell us about what the future holds?
Well, it would be improper, really, for us to follow the Warriors of Chaos with anything other than the Empire of Man.
Yes.
The two have been classic foes for as long as Warhammer has been around. So, again, it just made absolute sense for the Empire to follow up.
That sounds so exciting. The old world setting just continues to add something new to a system that so many of us love and enjoy. It's been really exciting having you come and join us, Dan.
Thanks for having me.
Some amazing stuff from the studios about Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, the Age of Darkness, and...
Was it amazing, though? Was it, Adam?
For our other systems.
Jesus.
Necromunda, Hive Secundus took us
This guy.
underground with the terrifying genes that
Amazing.
expect to see another faction release this year.
Didn't show anything. He just told us what's coming.
Other factions
Amazing.
Kill Team. The big news is Hivestorm, the new edition of Kill Team. We're looking forward to seeing people get hold of the new rules. Going into the new year, we'll continue to release kill teams and box sets to add more scenery and locations to your games. Underworlds. Plenty happening here. Before the end of 2024, you'll see new warbands being released. And in 2025, we'll continue to build up those factions. Warcry. We've just released Briar and Bone, which we know the community were waiting to get their hands on.
Those are some fun miniatures.
Some great teams released, including our our favourites, the Gnomes. Everybody loves a badger. We've also just revealed the Chaos Dwarf team coming to Blood Bowl very soon, and there's plenty more in 2025. Well, we've got time for one more reveal, and it's something very precious that I'm incredibly excited about, and I hope you will be too. Before I leave you, remember, if you want to stay up to date with the latest Warhammer news, head over to warhammercommunity.com. Now, let's see that extra special final reveal.
Oh, here it is. We've all been waiting for it. Sick. Thanks for joining me, guys, and watching this preview. It was so much fun. 10 out of 10. And that might be a bit loud. Let's lower that volume a bit. What was it, at -16 before? Let's try that. If it's too loud, you guys let me know. Yeah. This Mario Party mix is sparking more joy for me than that preview. Sliced melon? What the shit was that? That was hot garbage. That's what that was. Oh boy. The details we actually got were cool. I guess learning that a Krieg release that was rumored, like learning that it's confirmed, yeah, that's cool. I like my preview to show me some previews. Call me crazy. I also would have liked to have seen a roadmap. God damn it. They use that word, right? I'm not crazy. Let me look this up right now. I think they mentioned roadmap. I didn't imagine it. Oh, crap. With the way their site is, I can't look at the previous page because it's been updated, I think. Okay, so Age of Sigmar has a roadmap of sorts. Can I switch this so you guys can see it? How do I do this? Okay, cool. So, let's come into here and expand this a bit. And you can see my browser. Hopefully nothing incriminating. Okay, yeah, so we have a roadmap here for Age of Sigmar. That's kind of... It's something. I'm not exactly on the wagon of that, but... That's what I want for 40K. I want a map of the factions. Good God. Lame-o. What a lame-o preview. Okay, let me close that tab. Close all the tabs of horse before you show screen. Is that a Vosh? No, it's a reference to someone. That's a controversy, right? I thought, like, that's a thing. You can have a Blood Bowl team, yeah. I'm sure Chaos Dwarf fans are pumped about... Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl fans are pumped for that. And that's a win, and I'm happy for those people. 2 for 2. Amen, Slice Noah. It is 2 for 2 disappointing previews. Well, it's pretty much the usual time we wrap up the stream, fellas. So, I'm actually like, man, these studio lights really get the sweat going. I need to stop the stream and shower. This is crazy. Thanks for joining me, guys, on checking out this very exciting, very riveting, edge of your seat Warhammer preview. And look, at least we got to put some paint on these warp spiders. That's pretty cool. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next stream. Thanks to everyone who liked and shared and tuned in.